Welcome to Tabula Rasa, bitches.
Hello, hello.
Well, hello there.
My name is Allie.
And I'm Nick.
And welcome to Season 1, Episode 7 of Tabula Rasa, bitches. We are so glad you are here.
In Tabula Rasa, bitches, you'll listen as two decades-long friends jump back into the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and relive the show that brought them close together and taught them so many of the values they still cherish today. As usual, we are going to give a spoiler warning. We are going to be discussing this episode, spoilers and all, so if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to hear the spoilers, hit the pause button and go do your watching. I can't believe you haven't seen this yet, but watch it and then come back.
Yes, we'll be anxiously awaiting your return. Each episode of Tabula Rasa, bitches, will dive into an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and discuss the lessons that can be learned from our favorite Sunnydale warriors and the supernatural creatures they use their talents and friendship to overcome. Today, we'll be discussing Season 1, Episode 7, Angel. Cue the wolf whistles and woo!
Woo! It's going to be 50 minutes of talking about how sexy David Boreanaz is.
Pretty much. Do you want to get us rolling with that episode summary, Nicholas?
Nothing would make me happier. Okay. After Angel helps Buffy fight off an attack from a group of fierce vampires called the Three, they go back to her place to hide out. Angel stays the night and the next day, and when Buffy returns home from school, they kiss for the first time, but Angel pulls away. Ooh! Angel pulls away, and when he turns back, we discover he's a vampire! I never would have guessed. Meanwhile, Darla and the Master hatch a plan to bring Angel back to their side. The next day, Darla goes to Buffy's house. Joyce, who, as a reminder, is Buffy's mom, mistakenly invites Darla in, and Darla drinks from her, but leaves just in time to frame Angel. Buffy then goes to confront Angel, but discovers the truth that he's actually not as evil as he has had his soul restored by a curse. Darla interrupts their conversation, guns a-blazing, literally, and attempts to kill Buffy, but Angel stakes Darla instead. Buffy and Angel kiss at the bronze the next day and acknowledge that their love is a forbidden one. And I'm going to give a shout out to the always incredible Buffy guide, from which I adapted this summary.
Excellent. Yep.
What an episode, Allie. What an episode.
I mean, really, it is such a classic. So much happens, and I have so many quotes written down. I probably won't read all of them, but my first note is, yay, Team Angel forever. And that is like an actual 4 EVER. And then a little heart next to it. Because, yeah, the other side of the debate has not been introduced yet, Team Spike. But I will state it now for everybody. Team Angel forever. 5 ever.
5 ever. Yeah, shout out to Angel for helping middle school Nick find his sexuality. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. My first note is that Darla is so sexual in how she talks.
Yes.
I dig it. it.
It's like not a lisp, but it's just this way that she forms words. It's just so like intentional and sensual. Yeah, absolutely.
So good. Julie Benz, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Good memory.
You've met Julie Benz.
I have been in her presence. So when I went to Dragon Con, she was on a Buffy panel, and I got to just sit there and soak it up and be in the same room with her. Yes, absolutely. And it was so cute because apparently she and Charisma Carpenter, Cordelia, are like besties. They were sitting next to each other and giggling the whole time. It was great.
Oh my God, imagine being best friends with them.
I know. I would just like sit around and be like, oh, you're all so fabulous. Help me pick out shoes. Or I don't know. So then we start with a scene with the Master, and I'm just like, oh, he's a family man. Because he's talking about how Angel left and like our family, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, look at you, Master.
Oh, family. Still a family that is less messy than mine in some ways.
It's true. It's pretty accepting.
If my family's listening, I love you all. I'm just
love
kidding.
You. Also, we'll take note, Darla not in vamp face.
A bold move around the Master, right?
Yeah. Like, I guess she just gets away with it. I don't know. That was something that we talked about tracking in the first episode, because the last couple times she was in vamp face when we saw her. And I guess, I don't know, now that we seen both faces, we're seeing her more. I don't know if it was an intentional choice or not. I'm just taken note of it.
Her so later on she talks about her outfit. She intentionally chose like a schoolgirl theme, and she's in that same costume. I was thinking that it was like, no, we don't take the face of our lesser form around the master. Absolutely. Maybe
Yeah.
it's part of this whole schoolgirl thing. I don't know, but
I
that
don't
just
know. Or
thought
it may
occurred to me.
even be just like because, all right, spoiler alert, she dies in this episode. So it may be one of those things. If someone says they're about to, finally have a good life, you know that they're going to die. Like it's one of those things that
Mm,
kind of is a tell, like, oh, suddenly she's getting a lot of FaceTime and like her real FaceTime. And we're starting to get to know more of her. And okay, now she's dead.
that's a really
So
good point too.
it might be one of those things. Yeah, that's definitely a trope when someone's talking about how they're finally going to retire and take a vacation. So they're probably gonna
Damn it,
die.
just hit the pause button now. Don't watch the rest. It's gonna be sad.
Yep.
The next note I wrote is, so we find the Scoobies attending the pre-fumigation party at the Bronze.
Yep.
And I just wrote to this, a fumigation party? Absolutely fucking not. Not a chance. You will not find me there.
Well, free is my favorite number, so I would totally stomp a bug for free drinks. Absolutely. 10 out of 10.
That's so Ew, there's like cockroach. No,
But it's
no.
not my house. Like I get to leave at the end of the night.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to sleep there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if my house had cockroaches enough that you had to have a fumigation every year, like that would be a no-no, obviously. But like dingy bar where I go dance and they don't card you, like there's some things that you have to deal with to underage drink, you know?
Yeah. You got to take the good with the bad.
And I was never good at flirting to get people to buy me drinks. So stomping on bugs, far more in my wheelhouse.
That remains one of my favorite things to do at gay bars, with Paul's blessing too, by the way.
I assumed so.
Get the free drinks, work it, do whatever you got to do, because we share credit cards. So like,
Yeah. If I were so inclined, Hayden would feel the same way. But I'm not good at it.
how do we feel about Xander's incredible dance moves that we see at this fumigation party?
Well, I know it is a controversial word, but I would say adorkable.
Adorkable. Is that
Mhm.
controversial? Who doesn't like the word adorkable?
I've heard some people say it's cringy. I don't know.
And what is their address? I just want to know. I just want to talk.
No one in particular comes to mind. Oh, I wrote down the quote. She says something about like, but when he is around, it's like the lights dim everywhere else, and you're just like, ugh, so woon.
Oh, you love him. Oh, Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love one of the words in this quote from Xander, but I think the
I
quote
bet I know
is
what it is.
hilarious overall. I don't know what everyone's
What
talking about.
That's just
That food doesn't make you look like a hooker.
I know. I love that. I'm so like, and even the delivery, you can't, and because of who she is, like, you can't even be mad about it because she's
Yes.
being a bitch to him. Like, she drew first, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Sex work is work. We support it.
Right.
But like,
Yeah.
also that was hilarious. That was a hilarious thing
It
to
is.
say.
It is hilarious, and we're definitely not condemning hookers, but it's also just like definitely would be an insult to her.
Can that
So.
be that quote? We have to figure out a way to use that in the promo of this.
That just doesn't make you
episode.
look like a
We're not.
hooker.
No. The thing that you just
Oh,
said.
we're not condemning sex work.
We're not condemning hookers. That's what I think. That's what.
Oh yeah. We're not condemning hookers, but
Yeah.
Cordelia definitely wouldn't want to look like one.
Oh, that's good. That's
For sure.
good.
And then I also have another Xander quote. Let's stop this whirligig of fun. I'm dizzy.
He is adorkable.
I have
he?
definitely said that before.
This-
He has, I think, second to Cordelia, he has some of the best quotes.
Yeah, especially
He,
this
of course,
episode.
reigns supreme, but Xander's definitely a close second.
So Buffy decides she's leaving, and it's pretty clear that Angel is like, I don't know, lurking or whatever. This episode, I think, is so well timed because I am just getting to the point as a viewer where I'm like, okay, Angel, I'm over the cryptic, creepy, that like I'm ready to, and
Yeah.
and now we learn it. It's like, boom, ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, and I did like how like she gets up to leave and she turns around. She doesn't see it. She doesn't catch him, but we as the viewers, we see that he is indeed there. He's following her. And I don't know if you've ever had this, but there really is a sixth sense when you have a crush on somebody. Like
Mhm.
all of a sudden you notice where they are fifth period. Like maybe you don't track your other friends' stuff, but like what table they're sitting at.
Oh
And
yeah,
like, you notice when they walk into the room, and there's definitely just that like extra sensory awareness of them.
they capture that very well.
Yep.
The next scene where Buffy's fighting off the three before Angel enters. Um,
Hmm.
this is the first time since Luke where we're kind of seeing her ass get kicked, isn't it?
Yeah, and I actually had a similar note. This is the so we've seen him offer warnings in form of help and stuff, and we saw him come to the harvest and then say like, "Oh, I'm impressed. I didn't think she'd actually do it," or whatever. This is the first time she actually needs his help.
Mm-hmm. We see him fight.
Mhm. Yeah, and he gets in on the quip action. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can quip too. You got a good quip there, Angel. Good job.
Yeah. And I I have a really silly thought that I had while watching the episode. So when Hayden and I met, I definitely thought he was all angel, all dark and mysterious, playing everything pretty close to the chest, not offering much about himself. And now that we're 5 years in, he's all Xander. He is all all silliness and goofiness and all of that. And it's very funny to think about.
Knowing you, I like that arc in your relationship for you
Yeah,
because
it
you're
definitely
also
like it
very
makes
silly and
sense.
goofy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's definitely it was invited for sure. When I do weird stuff and he's like, "Who made you this way?" I'm like, "It's you." I respond to your weirdness and offer it back.
Hayden, you're a gift.
He is my precious gift. I definitely felt a lot of the this relationship in this episode, and I'm wondering if it's just because I haven't seen my boyfriend in a month as I am out in California as I record this.
Oh, it's going to be so cool to listen back to this several seasons later and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm getting ready
Aw,
to
Phoebe.
film for Felicia Hardy. And I remember that trip to LA.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so as he gets her away from the three, they get back to the house. This is the first time we learn about the invite rule.
Mm-hmm. She gets it in just in the nick of time, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think, and obviously we're meant to not really notice so that, when he does the turn and stuff. And it really is just like, I wonder if where the line is supernaturally, if there's clear intent to invite, like
Mm-hmm.
how strict is it? Does she have to say, does she have, it
Does she have
doesn't
to
really be like,
speak the
come
words?
in or come on. Yeah. How specific is it? But yeah, she definitely gets like a come on in or
I've thought about
something
that
in
too.
there.
How if somebody like if a vampire in human form says, "Can I come in?"
Hmm.
and they say yes, they didn't say come in, but
Right.
there's like an agreement there.
Yeah. I feel like that's it. Where it's like there's clear intention.
Hmm.
But I feel like it
Um,
does have to be verbal.
interestingly, as Buffy is slamming the door, I can't see exactly from a bird's eye view, but it looks like there's at least an arm
There
over the
is. Oh,
threshold
there's
there.
absolutely an arm, which doesn't make sense. I think that's a little slip.
That's okay. We'll forgive
Yeah.
them. So throughout the course of the fighting, Angel has gotten a wound or something on his ribs, and
Yeah.
Buffy says, "Take off your shirt, I'll patch it up." I have a note here. Buffy, I think he also has a cut on his leg.
Yep.
Um,
Mhm. Yeah,
so
like the upper thigh maybe.
right, yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
hate when that happens, man.
Gosh, I know. Yeah, and it definitely made me think about like, do we know Vamp healing status? Like, is he just playing along that he needs to be patched up and he would be fine in an hour? Probably, right? Like, I know they get hurt and obviously they bleed. I mean, really, there's a lot of like just going with it with
Yep.
this show and like the rules and stuff. Cause like later in the season finale, he'll mention that like I don't have breath.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another vampire prominent character who will come in who smokes.
Oh, true.
And it's like, well, that's kind of a
Oh,
prerequisite. And also, you form sounds by air passing through your vocal cords. So he talks, therefore he has breath.
so and I've had this question about blood because we've seen vampires bleed before.
Hmm.
In order to, oh God, somebody's gonna listen to this who
Yeah,
knows how
you have
this
to have a
actually
heartbeat.
works.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how?
To
So do you have
circulate
like?
blood through your veins, you have to have a heartbeat.
So then do you only have like a set amount of blood in you when you become whatever? Well, I won't think about it too much. I won't
Right,
think about it too
exactly. You really can't, because then it all definitely falls apart.
much.
So,
So Joyce gets home and Buffy's like, "Oh fuck, shirtless man
because
in the
oh wait,
kitchen, no idea what
one
I
more
do."
thing about
Oh
the
yeah,
blood
yeah, yeah.
flow thing, because they also have sex. What's a prerequisite of sex? Well, sorry, backtrack. What's a prerequisite of a penis and penetrative sex? A hard penis, which
That's a
requires
very
blood flow.
responsive clarification from you, Allie. We
Yep.
are
Sorry, I'm just trying to
allies to all different types of
all
sex with
different
all
types of
different types
sex.
of anatomy.
Yep. There's all different kinds, but specifically talking about penis and penetrative sex, it needs to be hard. So,
That's a good
um,
question.
so, eh, yeah, I'm just saying they
I,
clearly have a pulse, and they
I would
push
like answers, honestly, from somebody.
it.
How do they have sex? I want to know. I do.
Well, and it may depend on the world,
Mm-hmm.
because like I want to say in the Twilight world they have a pulse, but it's really faint. Like it's just like really slow. I don't know. It's all magic. It's all fantasy. We can move on.
From vampire sex.
Oh,
That's good.
yeah, let's move on to Angel low-key gaslighting when she's like, so, I don't know,
Why
kind of
would
got
I do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. She's like, I don't know, kind of got the sense that you were following me. And he's like, why would I do that?
You
Gaslighted.
filthy fucking liar.
You
You
are.
filthy fucking liar. Yeah.
Although I guess we can kind of get away with it in the like he's being coy, because it's like he knows that she knows and she knows that he knows. So I guess that's the like, no, I haven't been. Like,
Okay, that's
like
charitable of you.
it's more flirty, maybe.
We've been saying too many nice things about men this episode. I need to counteract it. He's gaslighting. That's what
All
we're gonna go
right.
with. I can't. How do we feel? So when Joyce comes in, Buffy is like, he's my
Tutor.
tutor. How do we
Mhm.
feel about how convincing of a lie that is?
Oh, she is not convincing at all.
And Joyce knows too.
Joyce is not buying it. Now, I mean, I don't think she certainly doesn't go like, oh, it's a vampire, or, but I definitely think she's like, this is an older boy that Buffy is spending time with.
Yep.
Now, luckily, neither of them look disheveled. So doesn't, maybe it was just some making out on the couch.
Yep.
But I would definitely expect that maybe Joyce has a conversation with Buffy about like, should we establish rules of the house? Because I mean, she's clearly not buying it from the get-go, because Buffy's like, oh, yeah, you look tired. Like, I'll bring you some tea. And Joyce is like, oh, that's sweet. What did you do?
What did you do?
Definitely that mom radar is absolutely going off.
There's another quote here that I didn't realize I had been quoting Angel all those years ago. Buffy, they're in her room.
Mhm.
Buffy changes into jammies or whatever and turns around, and it's part of a quote. And then at the end, he says, "You look pretty when you go to sleep." And I was like, is that where I got it from? Who knows?
I don't think so. You say it in a very different way than when he says it. He's complimenting her of like, oh, even when you're getting ready for bed, you're still pretty. You say it like you're intentionally being creepy.
What's a creepy thing to say to say?
It's not. It's not, because it's even like, because when you're getting ready for bed, you're not trying to impress someone. You're in your pajamas and stuff. He's saying that even when you're dressed down, you're still pretty.
Whatever. I think it's weird. And
okay, well, you are unnecessary. You are being harsh. You're making some harsh frowns.
The more important part here is that I've been quoting Angel this whole time, and I'm so happy about it.
I like the cute little exchange when she's like, do you snore? He's like, it's been a while since someone's been in a position to let me know. Which is really smooth way to say that, yeah, I haven't been with anybody in a long time. And you're like, okay, all right.
That was like, okay.
That's smooth.
Right. That was smooth. Oh, Angel.
Love the girl talk the next day with Willow and Xander. And Xander's, wake up and smell the seduction. The oldest trick in the book.
Or later in the scene when he's like, Buffy, come stay at my house. Don't worry. Willow will tell him that he needs to leave the state.
Yep. Oh, and I feel this Willow quote. How do you know what's going on? You always know what's going on. I never know what's going on.
Willow. So adorable.
Precious gift.
I wrote that this is slightly off topic, but Giles is wearing a very excellent cardigan. And as you know, I love cardigans, and I
Love a
noted it.
cardigan.
Love
Love
a
a
cardigan
cardigan.
moment. I love it.
Yep. And he
Um,
definitely has some excellent tweed blazers with elbow patches. Oh, love an elbow patch.
he's got some, his elbow patch game is strong.
Mm-hmm.
Later on in this episode, he wears a sweater vest, which I'm not totally sure how I feel about, but on him, I like it. I'm
Gonna
about it.
say he gets
They can
away.
be rocked.
He can pull it off, especially a British man. Yeah, you get
Oh
away with
yeah.
it. Yeah.
This is my first question for Allie of this episode.
Okay, I'm ready.
So we're jumping ahead to the next scene where they're in the master kills the three.
Yep.
Well, no, he doesn't. He allows whatever.
Yeah.
Don't give spoilies about other big bads, but
Mm-hmm.
talk in general terms about
Mhm.
where the master ranks for you in terms of big bads.
Hmm.
Let me say this: he's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, he's definitely up there. It's just it's complicated because I mean, he's so classic. He is very obviously he's kind of sassy and that makes him like likable in a way, so he's weirdly charming, but he's still very straightforward bad guy. Like it is black and white, no question. And so there are definitely some big bads that end up more complicated. And so some of that complexity is what makes them a good big
Mm-hmm,
bad.
mm-hmm.
And as far as scary goes, we do end up finding some more powerful people, or creatures, whatever the case may be. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think he ends up being maybe my second favorite.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so. So third season's my favorite season. And that big bad is my favorite big bad.
Oh, he's kind of adorable too.
Right. But he is sadistic in a way that the master is not.
Do you think? Yeah.
I think so. I think he's twisted in a way that the master is not. The master is very like, I want to rule the world. I'm a demon. Yay, demons.
Yeah.
It's very clear cut.
You're right. They do get more. They definitely do get more complex, and even there are parts of the fifth season where an aspect of the big bad I feel bad for. Like that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
So I think but the master is just so classic. How he's what does he say in the scene? Something like,
Oh, I got it. I am weary, and their deaths will bring me little joy. Of course, sometimes a little is enough.
It's so good.
Like, yeah. Sometimes it is the little things in life, isn't it, Master? Yeah, and there's also like there's always something special about firsts.
Yeah.
So in a way, there is that aspect because he's the first that in a way can't be topped. The way that like sequels will never really be better than the first because the first was new and different and novel. So there's always an aspect of like whatever comes next, it's not first,
We will always be nostalgic for. Did I just say nostalgic? That was about to be a really insightful point I just made, and I just fumbled it because we will always be nostalgic for the master.
And us millennials, we love some nostalgia.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah, my next note, when Buffy is fighting with the quarterstaff, can definitely tell those are not SMGs. They're like an octave lower.
I like that she just takes no mercy on Giles in this.
Oh yeah. Well, she had a bit to prove. He's
trying to be all cocky. He's like, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, he's like, after several weeks.
Yeah.
I think she earned that little bit of told you so kind of moment.
1000%.
The diary bit is so cute. That whole moment
Buffy,
is so adorable.
So adorable. And Angel knows what's up too, as she's saying that.
Yeah. And you can see that like little bit of smile, and he's like, I didn't read it. Awkward.
So they have their kiss.
Mm-hmm.
He turns. When she screams, we have certainly never seen her scream like that so far.
No.
I don't know that we see it again. We see it
that level of like terror in her.
Yeah.
Where she's caught off guard.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Maybe not. Certainly
to the
not
depth of what she's feeling.
Certainly not for a while. Actually, the next time I think of her screaming is in Hush.
Shut up. I was just going to say that. Shut the fuck up.
I know.
Yeah.
We're always on the same page. But she's not screaming in terror. That is a very intentional, purposeful scream.
It is to destroy them right now.
Right, exactly. So it's still it's very different. And honestly, I guess maybe it's different now that I'm an adult and I've had relationships and like I'm in love. That's a heartbreaking moment when you first see his vamp face. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, it has just been revealed. You are not who I thought you were. We are fundamentally incompatible.
Yeah. But there's that interesting moment looking at her face when she says, how much older? Because she doesn't say it like, oh, how much older? Like the way that you would think when you think someone's maybe, because if you looking at him, what do you think? He's 3 years older? Maybe she's worried he's 7 years older. But the seriousness on her face does not look like that. So I wonder if she as a slayer, if that's where her mind goes. Even if that's not what she thinks it is, maybe that's her just unconscious, oh no, even before it happens.
You're saying there's some slayer intuition happening that is tipping her off that he is a vampire?
I think so. Or there's just like a gut worry or something. Because just like the seriousness when she asks how much older he is, it just does not seem like she thinks, oh, you're a senior in college, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we do learn that her instincts are often right.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, slayer sense, totally a thing. So I do think that maybe like before it entirely gets to her head, I think her gut notices something is different more than just he's older than I thought he was.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mm-hmm. The next day they're at school before they go in. I had never picked up on this before. Allie, you know I'm a politics buff.
Mm-hmm.
Cordelia notices that somebody else is wearing the same dress she's like, is that a knockoff? Is that she references, she says something like, this is what happens with free trade agreements. She's referencing NAFTA, which was ratified 3 years before, which is a really good, 3 years before the episode aired, which is really good current events alignment that Cordelia has. Good for her. You're informed, girl.
I think she's smarter than she lets on.
Oh, yeah.
And like maybe in an intentional way. And I love Buffy's reaction after that. I think we have problems.
I've never had that happen to me. That does have to suck, though. You show up somewhere and somebody's wearing the literal exact same thing you are. That sucks.
Yeah, especially if I paid the prices for a one-of-a-kind. Yeah, I'd be pissed. I'd be upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed.
Because, like, honestly, that knockoff looks just as good. So...
Yeah, it does.
Rough. Sometimes paying more does not get you more. Life lessons, people.
Life lessons from Tabula Rasa, bitches.
You're welcome. Okay, I have a note here. I can't stop thinking about vampires and periods.
What? Why?
Okay, so Darla's in Angel's apartment, and she's like, "You're living above ground. You're acting like one of them." And then she opens the fridge, and she's like, "But you're not, are you?" And she's, making fun of the like blood packets that he has. Are clearly we find out much later that he has an agreement with some kind of donation center or whatever to get blood bags. But I'm just like, does he just? I think about this for all vampire genres. Are they just so overwhelmed by the scent of blood anyway that the extra blood on someone's period doesn't make a difference? Or does that play into like who they attack in an alley?
Oh, I thought you were asking about Darla's menstrual cycle.
No. She should not have one.
You're asking about how do
vampires
would-be victims menstrual cycles?
Right. Because I was thinking like, well, there is a sustainable source of blood for you.
Allie, if vampires ever come to be
ethically sourced blood,
I need you to launch some sort of social venture or something, because this is a brilliant idea.
Social? You mean entrepreneurial? Make some fucking money off of this.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Rein in on that. And stop a lot of people from being killed in the process.
Right.
Well,
so
actually,
I wonder if like, because I was thinking about this, like Bella and Edward, he's always talking about, oh, she's so tempting for him, blah, blah, blah. Like, would that be a solution or would that be a problem? Once he got some of her blood, that would he then be like, oh my God, I cannot wait a whole month for the next time. I have to ration this. Or maybe it's like, trying to have a sip of beer and then chugging the whole thing. Or I don't know.
Me either, Allie. I don't know. Other things I demand the answer to.
Right. Because I was thinking about it. Well, it's not quite for Angel. It's not quite like a vegetarian having meat for the first time because he is drinking human blood. He's not hunting down deer and stuff like that. Like he is drinking human blood. It's not fresh, but he is having human. But with Edward,
is that established?
Yeah,
the
blood bags are human donation bags.
And it's not like pig's blood from a butcher or something.
No, because I think we see him at like the back entrance of a hospital.
We did, yeah. That's second season, right?
Yeah,
we do.
And like the type of bag is more like an IV bag than just a Ziploc.
Yep.
But like with Edward, he is hunting animals, so it would be maybe like a slippery slope for him to have human blood because I assume it's different.
I'll have to consult my vampire friends. I'm not sure.
Yeah, these are the things that Allie Preston.
I've had vampire bosses. Maybe I should ask them.
Shots fired.
No, that would be too kind to them. So I have a note here. I'm just putting myself in Darla's position for a hot second.
Sure.
Man, does it have to suck to be like, how old is she? Probably approaching 300, if not 300. She's watching some teen girl move in on her man that she desperately. Man, that sucks.
Right? Ugh. And then also on Buffy's side, how bad does that suck? Like, okay, not only does he have an ex, but he has an ex that he was with for generations.
Yeah, generations. Literally generations.
God,
yeah.
That would make me insecure as fuck.
Oof.
Well, then he kills her and you're like, okay. All right. Well, you killed her. I mean, that would definitely cure any insecurities I had.
Ultimate way to build trust.
Right? Also, so before that fight scene when Buffy goes down to hunt, essentially to hunt Angel, kind of preposterous imagining doing homework in the midst of all of this.
That's a really good point.
Like, I do not blame her for totally losing track of, and really in any situation, knowing that like, oh, I have to get homework done so I can go out and slay vampires. Of course she's doing bad in school.
Yeah.
How would you ever focus on something so mundane and inconsequential as homework?
She gets shot at with guns.
Yep.
And yeah, to your point, and what goes home and what is she doing in this episode? She's studying history with Willow or something.
Yep.
Presumably she goes and takes a quiz or whatever the next
Civil
day.
War.
What? That's nuts.
Right?
That's nuts.
Yep.
Buffy says her address when she calls.
Yes.
911.
I looked it up.
Me too. I couldn't find a Zillow for it. I was bummed.
Oh, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like there is a street nearby, but the actual address, if you look on Google Maps, it's like the end of a cul-de-sac.
Oh, interesting.
So it did not point to a specific house. It was more like a general area. But the address like immediately came up was the Palisades in California. That's what I found.
Interesting. All that came up for me was just Buffy fans writing about how they have done what I.
Well, I just plugged it right into Maps. I didn't Google it.
I
plugged it into
I haven't done that. Interesting. I'll have to go back and do that. We'll see.
Yeah. That poor dining room window.
Oh, I know. First of many times, somebody's going to get thrown through that.
So many times, or something's going to get thrown through it. Yeah, just God, that sucks.
I'm glad they address it later on in the episode. But as I was watching this, and I had forgotten about that conversation that happens later, all I could think to myself was, this feels like a classic miscommunication. Buffy has walked in. Buffy's mom is unconscious in Angel's arms. Of course, she assumes that it's because of Angel, but actually it was Darla. Feels like this could have been very easily cleared up. And then we learned like later he was conflicted or whatever. But like, come on, like.
Well, and he was vamped out. So.
Which indicates and we saw him feeling like very conflicted before. He's probably going through a lot or whatever.
And she's clearly been fed on.
Yep.
So I can see how in that situation you would jump to conclusions. It's not an unreasonable conclusion to jump to. Now, if he was regular faced, then I think like maybe it would have felt like things were calm enough to have a discussion. But
No, I'm placing the blame on Angel here for not being like,
not
oh
immediately
wow,
going like, no, Darla was just here.
this is a bad look. This wasn't me. I'm sorry. Yeah,
This
right,
looks bad. I get it. Yeah.
right. But we learned later he was whatever being broody and
Well, and he was clearly trying to do kind of a White Fang, be mean to get her to stay away from him kind of thing. It's like, and maybe your instincts of, well, do anything to keep from dying kind of thing.
he's a vamp after all.
Why would it
So
present as anemia? Wouldn't it just be like blood loss?
yeah, anemia is blood that you have enough blood. It's just blood.
Right. Well,
thinning.
an anemia is lack of iron,
Mhm.
which it sounded like is different than blood loss. Like I tend to be anemic.
Mhm.
But wouldn't it just be the same as if you cut your arm or something like that and you had blood loss? I don't know. They made it sound like it was presenting differently. I don't know. It's weird.
And like there was a perfectly logical explanation to it, but when you start digging into it, it's like, does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe there's a doctor who's listening that can chime in. Talking to my fiance here, he'd better text me.
Yeah. Give us a report back next episode. Imagine picking out an outfit to go hunt down the guy you like.
Did we see her pick out an outfit?
No, but like she changes her.
Oh, yeah.
She changes. She's definitely in a different outfit. She's wearing jewelry and stuff. So like at some point she had to choose which shirt to put on and which pants to put on and like what earrings to put in, how to put her hair. It's not like she's in sweats, a t-shirt, and a messy bun. Like she
Right.
intentionally got dressed.
Allie, I kind of feel like if there's a personality type and you are in this personality type where when you were going to kill a dude that you loved very much, you had a cosmic duty, you had to kill him.
Yep.
But you liked him. You would look cute doing it. I know you would.
Fuck yes. 100%.
And
you have to dress for any occasion. And yeah, there's definitely some like outside in kind of feeling, like look good to feel good. You know, if you're going to do a shitty thing and you want to feel badass instead of sad, you wear your leather pants.
Yeah, you want to feel confident doing it. You want to feel vindication in what you're about to do.
Right. Show up with that pleated skirt, bitch.
How did she know that he was at the Bronze? This feels like a random place.
Great question. Had the same thought. Because she doesn't know where he lives. He's not gonna come to her. I think it's just kind of like where does it make sense to go?
Yeah.
We can
from the critics' perspective, we can say it was where else? And then from the viewer's perspective, we can say it was Slayer intuition that led her there.
I think so. Yeah. Like where does it make sense to have a showdown? The Bronze. Yeah. And I mean, think about like
sense, yeah.
Where do we most often see Angel pop up? It's the Bronze.
Thinking as his character too, that feels like a random place. Like we have seen, there was a scene at his place before. Why would he not be laying that? Like, I'm not clear on his motivation for being at the Bronze.
Well,
either,
I think
but I'm okay with it.
But he's going out to potentially kill her. I think what he has decided to do is to kill her before she kills him.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think his heart's in it, but I think that's what he has decided to do. I mean, he definitely comes out on the offensive.
To me, I saw him coming out as like toying with her. I didn't think. When do you think he makes the decision that no, I'm not going to kill her?
I don't think he can do it. I think it's the same moment when
I have to pause.
Okay.
Sammy just threw up.
Sammy.
Flag for yourself what question we were on. Sorry, I'll be right back. Damn, this was a good discussion. Fuck. Okay, we'll be right back.
We'll pick up. All right. So thanks for bearing with us. So we're talking about what was Angel's purpose going to the Bronze that night and meeting with Buffy.
And I don't think that it was to kill Buffy, but Allie is of the persuasion that he was going to kill so that he didn't get killed himself.
So kind of in the way people can have more than one thought at the same time. Like, I don't think his heart was in it. I don't think he wanted to kill her. But otherwise, why would he go seek her out? And why would he seek her out in the fashion that he did? Like, hiding in the shadows. And like, we do first see his face, he's vamped out. So why would that is him clearly coming aggressively, at least from her perspective. That is not a way to approach and calmly explain things. if that was his intention, that's not the way to come out and do it.
True. Yeah, I agree that his actions, the logical conclusion on Buffy's part was to conclude that he was trying to kill him. I agree with you there. I don't think that he. I'm not sure what and I don't know if he knew his end goal either. I don't think that he would have. We find out later that he has known of Buffy, have seen Buffy for a long time, and has been in love with her for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think that he was ready. I don't think that if Buffy would never be bested, had there been a situation where Buffy was bested, I don't think that Angel would have killed her.
Oh, I don't think when push come to shove, he would have done it. The same way that she went to kill him and couldn't. Because we see she has the crossbow trained on him.
Yeah, she moves it. Yeah.
Yeah, and she chooses not to. And she does, she bares her throat. She says, go ahead and do it. And he backs away. And she even says that. She's like, that's what I thought. Not so simple. Which I definitely registered in a different way this time. Like, yeah, it's not this what's between us is not that simple. It just, I felt like that one short line spoke volumes of, yeah, it's not so easy just to kill the person you're in love with.
Yeah.
Like,
that
acknowledging
line really impacts a lot.
Acknowledging the like, yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah, you can't do it either.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think either of them would have, but I do think that is what, or at least that's what they told themselves that's what they were going to do.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree that they both went there telling themselves that they were going there to kill or be killed, to do their duty or whatever. And more Buffy was doing her whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We found it. We
agreed. And that's why Darla has to show up and try to do it herself, because she knows that he's gonna wuss out.
That feeds into my next note very well. In the same way that the Master is a great villain, I think Darla is such a good villain too.
Love her. I love her so much. And another reference to something that will happen later, but I would bet that Darla and Angelus brought down some buildings in their time.
No, yeah, they for sure did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yikes! That's got to be an episode to talk about, Allie.
Also, a little bit of confusing choreography here. When he's like, "What? I'm not even a real man to you." Blah blah blah. And then he's like, "Let's get it done." And then he jumps on the pool table and then jumps upstairs. Nick signals much. It's like, yeah, let's get it done. And then like moves further away.
And then it goes farther away from getting it done. That's funny.
Also, a stupid joke. I couldn't help myself. Come on, don't go soft on me now. That's what she said.
Oh, Allie, I love you so much. I have a favorite. I think this is my favorite quote from this episode. It's a exchange between Buffy and Darla. Darla says, "Want to know the saddest thing in the world?" And Buffy says, "Bad hair on top of that outfit." Oh, damn you, bitch! You shady.
Snap.
You petty too. Yes. Oh, it's so good.
I love the sound of the quote, but then it's like scary in context of and I did it with a song in my heart from Angel. And I love the idea of like, oh, and I did it with a song in my heart. Like I was glad to do it. And it's like, oh, but he's talking about killing his family.
But yeah.
I also have.
It's not when we should have a song in our heart.
Exactly. I also have Angel, you can't say gypsy anymore.
I was gonna bring up with you. I was like, do we need to give like a warning?
I don't think it's a trigger. I think it's in the context like
outdated and racist.
Right.
Now.
It is an outdated term. And he does say Romani first.
True.
And then he says gypsies.
As a non-Romani, I feel like I am not the one to say what is or isn't acceptable.
Right. Like it may be one of those things like maybe they call themselves that, but like we're not allowed to. I have no idea. But it's definitely funny to think of someone butting and be like, Angel, no, you can't say that anymore.
You can't say that.
You can't say that.
No, it's no, not in this year. Yeah. I'm glad we've all grown more informed. This is a good quote from Darla, that I was looking at the word good as I read that. That's my It's a good quote from Darla. Let's start with the kneecaps, shall we?
Mhm.
Oh, you're so evil. Yeah.
Can't
Oh,
dance without
what a good
those.
villain. Can't dance without those. You cannot. You're right. Don't shoot people in the kneecaps. Don't shoot people. That's not very kind.
I mean, like some people. I don't know. I'm
Some
not gonna
people.
make a sweeping generalization that no one deserves to be kneecapped. Inevitably, someone's gonna walk in, you're gonna be like, this guy. Yeah.
You should not have any kneecaps. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it reminds me.
You're
It's like
absolutely right.
it's like my favorite quote from Little Shop. And he's like, I don't know anyone who deserves to be chopped up and fed to a plant. It's like, sure you do.
Not one person.
No one. You can't think of
Not one person.
anybody.
Really?
Interesting. Oh, well, quick. Buffy pulling the pool table when Darla's standing on it. That's a big move of strength. I don't know if you've ever tried to move a pool table. Them things is heavy.
Yeah.
So she's strong.
It's like nothing. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Slayer strength.
The Master and, a favorite vampire couple of ours from future seasons, proving vamps really aren't without feelings.
We really see him lose control here, don't we?
He flips his shit when he finds out Darla's dead.
Yeah. He's upset.
Yeah.
Well, and we learn later that just how deep the relationship between the Master and Darla is.
Right. She was his favorite, like for reals.
This it gets parsed out later what like not having a soul does not mean you don't have feelings.
Clearly.
As we can see here.
It definitely is. I mean, because they say that it means you don't. But I mean, I think who says it? Is it Drusilla who says it? But like somebody says, like, we do love. They say we can't, but we absolutely do. Or something along those lines. Yeah, clearly they have bonds. They care for each other. Clearly it doesn't mean that they can't feel, because think about, Drusilla and Spike staying together for generations, Angel and Darla being together for generations. Like, if you truly did not give a shit about these people, you wouldn't stick around for that long. You would just like go it on your own.
Very good point.
Yeah.
It is, and it's an interesting dimension to add to the Master's character. Because this is he's lost a lot of people, and this is the first time we see him really flip out.
Yeah. So then the next scene at the Bronze. So here's some funny trivia. I don't know if you ever watched the special features on the DVDs, but so for this big kiss, which maybe they shot this one first and not the first one, because the first one was a pretty serious kiss too.
That was a sexy kiss.
That was not quick. But
yeah.
Apparently, David Boreanaz and Sarah Michelle Gellar both ate just like the grossest foods possible before filming that scene. And to their credit, you would not know, because it is still a very steamy kiss.
What?
Funny trivia.
You mean
just to mess with each other.
They just happened to.
No, they
nice.
did it. They did it intentionally. They like intentionally ate a bunch of gross foods before filming that kiss scene.
That's such a sensual kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Both times.
Yeah.
No matter.
But I think they did it before the Bronze one. I believe that's the one they were referring to.
That's impressive. Really speaks to their abilities, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also just like the silly things that young actors do.
I love a quote from Angel here. He says, "If I could go a while without being shot or stabbed, I'd be all right." Wouldn't we all?
So true. So true.
That is my preferred way to live is without being shot or stabbed. I guess I don't know. I've never been shot or stabbed.
True.
This isn't like a challenge to the universe, just to be clear.
Definitely not. I mean, like, I've pricked myself with a needle while sewing. I'm a wuss. Like, I don't.
Allie also co-signs.
Yeah.
Allie also does not want to be shot or stabbed.
Absolutely. We are on the same page with that desire. I think it's definitely, I don't know if this was a character choice or if this was wardrobe choice. Whoever made this choice, definitely excellent choice. Says a lot that Buffy wears the cross that night. Again, definitely like intentional picking out your outfit that night.
And that detail when the camera pans away and it's been pressed against him the whole time. When he said, and then it provides more context to when he says it's painful.
Yeah, because you definitely get the sense that like maybe he was about to say like, well, it was you're wearing the cross, and she's like, yeah, it's painful, I know, and he just lets it go. He's like, well, I guess I wasn't intending to put out that double entendre, but okay.
We'll go with it.
We'll just pretend I was being deep.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The last note I have here is that Willow is just seriously the ultimate wingman.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Xander's like, are they kissing? As long as they're not kissing, I'm fine. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Yep.
Willow, I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah. No, it is super cute. And I mean, I do think there's also a dimension, again, people being able to hold multiple feelings or ideas in their head at one time. I think part of it is certainly she's just psyched that Buffy doesn't want Xander.
Oh, that's so funny. He's like, she's busy with him. I'm good.
Right. Like, because she does have that moment from the pack when she's like, well,
Yep.
of course it's about you. Like, why would he be interested in me? He's clearly into you. And, you know, before we see how into Angel she is and how clearly over the moon she is, you know, it'd be easy to be like, well, I don't really know your intentions. You know, there's that green monster in the back of your head. And now she's like, oh, Xander is so not on her mind. Awesome.
Yeah, good
Works
point.
for me. Obviously, she's also genuinely happy for her friend, but also there's definitely part of her that's just like, cool. Awesome.
We can hold multiple thoughts. We can both be happy that somebody who we like, who they like, is busy with somebody else, and happy for our friend. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
that makes total
I
sense.
think so.
I love this theme that really gets solidified this episode that we'll keep exploring through many seasons from now. This forbidden love between Slayer and
a vampire
who's just so right, who is so good.
And they toy with us, as we will maybe explore in Angel, like you said, many seasons from now, in quite possibly the most tragic, worst episode of television ever.
Oh my God. So I know exactly which one you're talking about.
You know.
And it makes me sad still.
I hate that it exists.
I hate it.
You didn't have to do that. For those of you out there who know, like, if you know exactly what you're talking about and your heart breaks with us.
What is one quote? I love peanut butter or something.
Yeah. Putting that in a box, putting that box on the shelf, stepping away from the shelf.
I'm putting it in the basement and flooding the basement is what I'm doing.
Yeah, maybe some cement. Just like fill it up, lock it away. But like, love at 16. Are any emotions real at 16?
Yeah, we're not denying that they feel real, but having the context that we do now to look back.
Right. I feel like it's like when Ariel is like, I'm 16, I'm not a kid anymore. And you're like, honey.
When I was 16 and watching that, I was like, go off, Ariel. Absolutely. And now I look back, I'm like,
you're a child.
Yeah, you're a child. You don't know. Talk to me when you pay some bills.
Right, exactly. And she's like, bet they don't reprimand their daughters. And it's like, actually, people on the land do absolutely reprimand their daughters, especially if they're 16.
It's a good thing to like sometimes you need to be reprimanded.
Right, like maybe King Triton wasn't entirely wrong. And maybe Angel's hesitance, and like he is much older. Even if we're going with his age, what he looks like, he's still older and still has at least more wisdom, if not, a lot of wisdom. He still has more wisdom than a 16-year-old girl. So, you can't blame his hesitation.
He doesn't hesitate very much. He does not hesitate.
Well, the girl he's been, pining over for many years is finally in front of him and feeling the same way.
I'm a just go with suspending my disbelief. That's what I'm gonna go with the cosmic bond between Slayer and vampire with the soul.
Absolutely, which is reinforced in the comic books that continue the series afterwards, and it gets a little fanficky, but the powers that be acknowledge their bond on multiple occasions.
Oh, I have not read the comic books, so maybe.
Well, I mean, the episode that we were referring to was
that's the powers that be intervene.
That was a reward from the powers that be.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I definitely made this forbidden love kind of thing. Does I can relate to some aspects of it being like. I remember when I was in high school, I was out of college because like everybody looks at me and they're like I did not surprise me. Whatever, it's fine. I remember I dated a few different guys who were still in the closet. It had to be a secret. This like forbidden kind of but we're destined. Oh, he's the like.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think a lot of people can relate to this feeling that this experience they're navigating. I think it resonates with people.
Yeah, I agree. And even like for me with my unhealthy past relationship, they're like, oh, well, you just don't understand. You don't understand how strongly we feel. Like
Hmm.
it's the struggle is what makes it real and the fight is what makes it real. And I feel like movies and TV in that way, I don't blame all of our problems on movies and TV, but a little tiny bit, they do kind of show that like it's the struggle that and the fight for it that makes it real. When I feel like the real stuff is a lot more boring. It's
Yeah.
when it's actually right, it's a lot easier and it's a lot less drama.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it should be a little like you shouldn't have to fight that, especially early on.
Hmm.
Like if you're gonna have any battles, they're gonna come later once it's established.
Right.
Hopefully,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Or at least it
mm.
seems like it.
Oh man, we've devolved, Allie. We really have.
From the train of the episode, I don't know.
A little bit. We circled back.
Yeah, we
did.
got there. We got back eventually.
We sprinkled in some Little Mermaid too. That's good stuff.
You know, it's all analysis and drawing parallels. I mean, really, when you look at it, Ariel, Buffy Summers, same character.
There actually is a lot of overlap. You said that jokingly.
I did, and then I had some
We're-
thoughts of like, oh, you know,
It's
she's
like, wait, actually, hang
she's
on. Yeah.
lusting after her human, which is like from a different world and probably not right for her. And she does a lot of like, well, she changes herself and does some things, but you know,
Similar themes of bravery
absolutely.
and leaving what you know.
Mhm.
What are your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Even with his vamp face on, he can get it.
He can still get it.
Still
Absolutely.
get it. Like Darla, not so much. Sorry, hon. But like Angel can get it. Just swoon, big teen high school girl crush on Angel forever, always.
Yeah, teen boy crush on Angel. Even looking back, watching, I'm like, Teen Nick, you got good taste.
Yep.
That was good.
Mhm.
Good call. Good call there.
Yeah. Yep. My sister, on the other hand, always said he has a big nose, and I don't get it.
Well, everybody has a right to be wrong. They do.
She always had a bigger thing for her college boyfriend, but we'll agree to disagree on that one.
I can't wait till she hears this.
Not to throw shade on Mark Lucas, because he
Oh,
is
you named
fine.
him. Damn,
He is-
you did.
he
You
is-
named him.
he
Okay.
is, but he's still no David Boreanaz. Sorry, not sorry.
That's fair.
Shall we wrap this up?
Let's wrap this mother up.
All right.
Name the musical. Name the musical.
Hairspray.
Yeah,
That's
there
what I
you
think
go.
of every time. Come on, Miss
Yeah.
Buttercup. It's time to wrap this mother up. I think that about does it for this episode. Don't you think, Nicholas?
I think so.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again for our next episode, where we'll discuss Season 1, Episode 8, I, Robot You, Jane.
That was. I didn't know you were going to throw the character.
Neither
voice
did
in. That was
I.
really good. It was really good. An actress indeed. If you are just too excited to wait until the next episode to chat, please send us an email at tabulrs@bpod@gmail.com. Say hello to us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Tabula Rasa BPod. Allie,
Yes.
where can people find you on social media?
Well, if you would like to support me as a young actress, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/AlliePress. That's ALLIEPRESS. And if you'd like to see my day-to-day goings on, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DaughterPick, DAUGHTERPICK, or on TikTok at Future Black Cat. Spelled exactly how it sounds.
And luckily, all of these social media handles are in the description. Everybody should tune in, and I can't wait for this next episode. Can you, Allie?
Samesies. And until then, make proud choices.
Have a beautiful day. I love you.
Love you all. Mwah.
Tabula Rasa, bitches, is hosted by Allie Press and Nick Mercer, with music by Inflaton Cult, artwork by Charlotte Fleming Design, and consultation by Evo Terra.